Yes, the mega rift. All anyone could talk about over the weekend. AmFest took place. I was there. 30,000 people. I met hundreds and hundreds of you all there, which is amazing. I handed out like 2,000 coffee brand coffee samples. Hopefully everyone will try that out and enjoy it. And it was so incredible meeting all of you. But the only thing the online world was really talking about was Ben Shapiro versus Tucker versus Steve Bannon versus Megyn Kelly. And I have a theory that I believe very strongly in and exactly why this rift is happening. I've been creating content, especially online, longer than just about all of these people. Most of these people are TV heads, and they aren't really used to having to follow micro trends and what's going on out there. And so I want to talk about first what was said and then get into exactly why it has been said, because to me, it is so incredibly clear that this is far less about what each individual might particularly believe and far more about trying to capture what they believe is the future of the MAGA movement. Whether or not the Republicans win the midterms and they impeach Trump into oblivion for the last 2 years, or Trump, we win the midterms, MAGA is going to effectively end with Trump. Whatever J.D. Vance might run on, or whoever else will be different. So what you're seeing now is a desperate shuffling around of content creators who redefine what they say they're about so that they can stay relevant as the times shift. It's just rare that it's so obvious because now it's online and you can see it with their tweets and they all have a very obvious plan. And I'm going to break it down for you because I think I'm right about this. Let's go to this. So, by the way, I want to remind everyone, I hand out so many samples. Our coffee brand coffee on Amazon, I'm going to leave linked in the description below. New Year's Eve is coming up. If you're going to New Year's Eve party or you're having somebody over, pick up some coffee. And let me make some recommendations. Our vanilla sugar cookie, our gingerbread, our blueberry cobbler, our brand new hot butter rum, which just got in, which is a top seller from last year, all available on Amazon. You'll get it in plenty of time for your New Year's Eve party. Pick up some butterscotch toffee. If you want K-Cups, vanilla, sugar cookie, it's all so good and supports the channel. Free shipping as well. So everything the left wants right now is happening. And the left isn't actually doing anything to improve their seating, to improve their ratings, because they're about as bad as they've ever been. Like, they are as bad as they've ever been. And it's very wild to me that people, we should be burying the Democrats right now. Instead, we're doing this purity test thing, which J.D. Vance spoke about. And I think is actually very right. I think that J.D. Vance was 100% right in saying that we don't need to be purity testing each other right now. But I don't know if J.D. Vance looks at it like I do from a content creator's perspective. It's why you're seeing people like Tim Dillon, who was glazing Trump before. Now he's like, oh yeah, TPUSA bad. Why is he saying that? Well, it's because that's what the X algorithm is pushing, and that's what he cares about. He doesn't care about, he doesn't actually have any well-held, close-held beliefs. He's just following the trends. So now we have all these articles, rift in the MAGA movement on full display as TPUSA's and AmFest, as Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson battle it out. Now, let me be very clear. I believe that Ben Shapiro believes everything he's saying. So it's not like I'm saying Ben Shapiro is being fraudulent in the things that he says. I just don't believe that. I think he truly believes these things. Now, I don't agree with the purity testing stuff, but I also believe that if you think someone should be called out, you should say their name. And that's what Ben Shapiro did here at AmFest.
Coalitions. It's the job of those of us who try to shape public opinion to hold politicians to account and to hold them accountable to our values. We must not let fear of audience deter us from telling the truth. We must not let fear of other hosts deter us from telling the truth. So, for example, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk
No, I think I get it. It's the black elephant in the room. You have to mention it, I guess. They say, I guess. But I would have chosen to keep her name out of my mouth at AmFest just because that's what she wanted. Like, she was sitting at home flicking her bean, hoping that Ben Shapiro would say this.
So, if Candace Owens decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk casting aspersions at TPUSA and the people who work here, who worked with Charlie every single day, his best friends, to cast aspersions at Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff and Tyler Boyer, and yes, at Erica Kirk, and to imply or outright claim complicity in a cover-up over Charlie's murder, to spew absolutely baseless trash implicating everyone from French intelligence to Mossad to members of TPUSA in Charlie's murder or a cover-up in that murder, then we, as people with a microphone, have a moral obligation to call that out by name. Erica Kirk and TPUSA never should have been put in the position to have to defend themselves against such specious and evil attacks, particularly in a time of mourning. And the people who refuse to condemn Candace's truly vicious attacks, and some of them are speaking here, are guilty of cowardice. Yes, cowardice.
Okay.
The fact that they have said nothing while Candace has been vomiting all sorts of hideous and conspiratorial nonsense into the public square for years is just as cowardly.
Again, do I believe that Ben Shapiro believes the things he says? Yes, I do. Do I think that there is a time and a place for this type of fire breathing and that it wasn't at AmFest? Yes, that's my opinion. He has a massive platform in which he can use to say these things. I had wished he would use AmFest to bring people together as opposed to, pushing more of this purity testing. Then we go to Tucker's response, which was, again, I can't, because that's how it opened, because Erica Kirk's speech was so good. Ben Shapiro comes out, immediately breathes fire, and whether you agree with him or not, I'm not even necessarily against everything he said, but I just think a time and a place, that's all. But of course, then Tucker Carlson has to respond.
I just got here, and I feel like I missed the first part of the program. I hope I didn't miss anything meaningful. But I just want to say, I don't think I did. No, I'm just kidding. I watched it. I laughed. That kind of bitter, sardonic laugh that emerges from you when, Upside Down World arrives. When your dog starts doing your taxes, and you're like, wait, it's not supposed to work this way.
I wish my dog would do my taxes.
To hear calls for deplatforming and denouncing people at a Charlie Kirk event, I'm like, what?
Now, I don't think, this could be some mincing of words. I don't think that Ben Shapiro specifically called for anyone to be deplatformed, but he 100% got up against that line. He got pretty close to the line, or at least saying hey, these people's opinions should be expelled, or, he definitely got up against the line.
This is hilarious. Yeah, this is hilarious. Actually, one of the clips, I was listening to myself, thinking as I often do when I hear myself speak, which is never, because I never watch myself, but at these events, they always play the role of you. And I'm like, that guy is pompous. Woo! Sorry about that. We don't see ourselves clearly. But the prediction that, at some point when Republicans took power again, which I did everything I could, to help, and really felt that.
Now, I think that the MAGA coalition, we had Steve Bannon coming out there. And again, let me be clear. When you listen to these people speak, this is very clearly, they're both trying to redraw the lines of Make America Great Again and fracture it essentially into two groups. A hardcore America First, which many of the things America First believes in, I believe in. I don't really care about Israel. I care about Israel as much as I care about us getting involved with every possible foreign country, you know? So it's like when they say, I don't want us to get involved in a war in Israel, we agree. I also don't want us in the war in Ukraine. I don't want us bombing Syria. I don't want us getting involved with war with Venezuela or whatever these cases are. That's what I want. So in the Venn diagram, I am partly America First. And then there's a section of America First that is a little obsessed. And like that may make people upset, but it's just the truth. There is a portion of the America First group that are literally obsessed with Israel 24/7, 365. And I don't want to be associated with that. So they want to take maga, and they know that's going away. So they're trying to rebrand it as America First. And so you get stuff like this from Steve Bannon.
Now, Benji Shapiro sat up here last night, and he was all, it's all about the truth. Ben, I've known you a long time, brother. You can't handle the truth. Let's face it, Ben Shapiro is the farthest thing from MAGA. Let's be blunt. He is a hardcore never Trumper. He's a hardcore never Trumper. In the spring of 16, he tried to upend Breitbart. He walked off the job, made a big deal about some incident in Mar-a-Lago with Corey Lewandowski. He tried to turn it to Ted Cruz from Donald Trump because he hated Donald Trump. In the general election, he barely supported Donald Trump.
Again, all of these things might be true. But to stand on the stage at AmFest and air out your personal beefs, which Steve seems obviously a lot more personal, is dumb. It lacks decorum, and I don't like it. And that means I don't like it from Steve, I don't like it from Ben, and I don't like it from Tucker. I thought Tucker was a little more eloquent, I guess. I thought it was weird how he took a huge section of his speech to talk about how great Muslims were at Charlie Kirk's event, in which Charlie Kirk has spoken out very strongly against the Muslim faith and its incompatibility with the West. But to be clear, what all of this is about is the future of their views and clicks. That's what it's about. These people don't really believe half the stuff they're saying. Ben Shapiro clearly kind of pushing for that more neocon, pro-Israel lobby, old style conservatism. Steve Bannon, Tucker Carlson, and many Gen Z pushing for this America First, which I definitely, if forced to choose, it wouldn't even be hard for me. It would be America First. But the problem is, I don't agree with a large section of that group's obsession with one particular foreign country. If we could just get together and say, we shouldn't be involved in any foreign countries, and let's talk about our involvement in, Ukraine and all this other crap. Hey, Hockey, as much as look, I'm not saying you can't criticize Israel or talk about Israel, but like turn the, open a different chapter of America First, and I'd wear the hat. But if all America First is associated with, Israel constantly, it's not anything I want to be a part of. I truly am America First. And that's just part of it. But there is a power vacuum that has begun, that content creators, that talking heads all see now that Trump's presidency will come to an end in 2 years, that everyone is desperately trying to reposition themselves. And it's so obvious to me as somebody who, has to watch analytics, has to watch trends, has to watch stuff. That's all that's going on here. You have all these people that were all about Trump and MAGA when it was politically expedient to their careers. I'm talking about a lot of these podcasters, right? They were all about it. Tim Dillon. Now Tim Dillon's like, GPUSA bad. Didn't you take a bunch of money to perform in Qatar and then have that blown up? Aren't you gay? I'm surprised you were going to go to Qatar. I don't really know. All of this is because these people don't know what it's like to win. They secretly want us to lose the midterms. I'm telling you that this is the truth. And a few people will make it this far in the video, but I'm telling you, they want us to lose the midterms because they don't know how to win. They are only comfortable complaining about Democrats. And because Trump is in office, I wouldn't say we're quote unquote winning, but because Trump is in office, they don't have any other way to maintain their audience. And so instead of talking about the Democrats that want us all dead, and they do, they just turn their ire on other Republicans. This is why Republicans can't stay in power. They have no idea what to do with victory when they have it. It's like the story about the dog chasing the car. If you ever caught the car, you wouldn't know what to do with it. That's how most of these people are. It's why they don't win multiple presidencies in a row. It's because they have no idea how to talk to their viewers or their constituents without the big bad wolf of the left. And I'm afraid that's going to be the ultimate issue. When all of our talking heads are more concerned right now with maintaining their audience after a Trump presidency, they don't give a damn about the midterms. They want us to lose the midterms so they could start making money sooner, so they could start talking about Democrats again. That's what's driving all of this infighting. It isn't because these people have fundamentally different beliefs. It's because they want money and power. It's as simple as that. There are a lot of people in this country that are very unhappy with the way that the Trump presidency has gone, and I believe that their feelings are valid and real. But when we're talking about these talking heads, they're just playing the wave, and it's as obvious as the day is long. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you have a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.